What's up, everyone, and welcome to another Bitcoin market update. Let's look at Bitcoin on the monthly time frame here on Coinbase. We can see that we have a declining volume profile with an overbought RSI. We've been overbought on the monthly time frame since November. We have not since pulled back to form a higher low. That is notable, but when we're in a monthly bullish trend, it is common to be overbought in RSI for quite some time before eventually, like right here, we go into a bear market and dip back in the purple zone. So this is something that I'm just keeping an eye on. I'm cautiously optimistic up here. Last month we had a long upper wick here, but we have since surpassed the monthly high. The next major resistance level here for Bitcoin is at the R3 level here on the pivot point standard indicator, and that is up at about 63K. Let's look at the monthly or the weekly time frame here. Our weekly support level is down here at this purple level. That is, we've been talking about this level. This is at about 37.8 down to about 28.8. Last week we had a candle close above the high here from February 15th. If we get another weekly candle close in a day and 10 hours above this high, that will make this black candle a very significant support level for the bulls that they will have to try and defend if the price comes back into that level. Let's look at the daily time frame here, or the 3-day rather. Let's look at the 3-day first. So on the 3-day time frame, we changed the trend right here back to, well, we didn't change the trend, we just continued the bullish trend. So we had our low, move this over, low, high, higher low in comparison to this one, and then higher high right here above this high. Now we've closed four candles above this high, so that this candle right here will be a support level if we come back into this zone. We almost touched it here, but we did not quite get there. Since that point, we've traded up about 12.8%. We have not broken yesterday, or the last 3-day candle, we had an inside bar here. If this 3-day candle breaks the inside bar, I expect it to probably go to 63K minimum. If we come back down into this level before breaking this candle, I will look to long this level with stop loss below the blue zone here. So that would look something like this. And this will be targeting the 63K level. So this would be a nice 24% gain if we got there. I'd have one bid on the top of this zone and one bid on the body of the candle. Those bids are live on the books. We will see if we end up actually getting into that order. As of right now, we are not close. The daily time frame is looking like we're just tightening up. You can see that after we had this push above, after we changed the daily trend back to bullish here, we have another higher low in comparison to this one. Then we got a lower high, and that's notable because if we were to continue this trend just the way that we had set here with a low high, higher low, higher high, we would have been low high, higher low, higher high. But instead we had low high, higher low, lower high. So this is showing that bullish momentum is waning, potentially. But then we set another higher low, significantly higher than this one. And now we're trading up from there. If we can push 2 daily candle closes above this high right here, the daily bull trend is still intact, and that will make this black candle a support level for the bulls. The Ichimoku cloud on the daily time frame is still looking good. We're still holding the daily trend that we began down here in October. We have since had a very nice bullish trend here on the daily Ichimoku cloud. Let's go to the 12-hour time frame. See what we're working with here. So on the 12-hour time frame, I'm just going to move this up here for a second. On the 12-hour time frame, the price is reacting to our levels that we've been talking about perfectly here. So initially we had this short entry right here. After we closed below this gray zone right here with 2 candle closes above or below, That made this gray zone a resistance level. We shorted that. We got about a 4% gain there. We then changed the trend back to the bulls, though, right here with our same pattern: low, high, higher low, and then higher high. If you guys can spot this pattern, the reason why I point it out every time is because this is one of the most significant and strong indicators in technical analysis, is just where the trend is going. Because if you trade with the momentum of the trend, you can significantly increase your chances of success, because that's the way that the momentum of the market is moving. If you try and trade counter trend, you're running counter to where the momentum is going. You can think of it as kind of like waves of the ocean. The waves of the ocean are carrying price up right now. If you're trying to trade against that, you're trying to swim against the current of the ocean. You can think of it kind of like that. So right now, what happened was we had our low, high right here, higher low, and then higher high. And then we closed both of these candles above this black high, so that made this purple zone a support zone. Now, I talked about going long on that, but unfortunately, once we had this candle right here, it made me a little bit hesitant to go long, because we kind of had already went into it once and tested it and rebounded off of it, and then we're testing it again here, and we held the level, so it was still the level is obviously a valid support zone. But I was not in on this trade, unfortunately. If people were to take this trade, it would have been up about 5% already. So that's still a good trade. But since that point, we've came down. We have a low, higher high, but we didn't close above it. Lower low, but we didn't close below it. Lower high in comparison to this one. Higher low, higher high. Now, the bulls, if they want to change this trend, this is just a mess in here. If they want to change this trend back to the bulls, they're going to need this pattern to come to fruition with this candle and the subsequent next candle closing above this high right here. If we look at this, that's that level right there. It's at about 59,462 on Coinbase. If we close two candles above that, that'll make this black candle a support zone. And then we'll have three 12-hour support zones kind of stacked on top of each other. And that'll be good news for the bulls. So that's what we're dealing with on the 12-hour time frame. We still have not came down and touched this 12-hour Kijun, which is been flat for quite some time. I was hoping that we would touch it right here on this short. We did not get there. We have since run up and tried to form support levels here, and we have the gray and the purple support right now. But let's look at the 4-hour time frame and see where the price is reacting off of. It is this level that we've been talking about for a few days now, this white candle right here. We saw that initially, I'm just going to turn this off and zoom in a little bit here so we can see a little bit better. Initially, we ran into this level. I did not short this level just because it's not consistent with my strategy when we were running into this after we had, grabbed some liquidity and then ran into it. Although it would have played pretty nicely for a short here. This level, like I said, it's really nice to see when your levels are holding. Even if you don't take the trades, it's good news because it's telling you that you know how to read the price action. So that's what you should look for as a technical trader. Are my support and resistance levels holding when I draw them, even if I'm not taking the trade? But if you would have shorted this and taken it down to the absolute low of that wick, it was about a 4.5% trade, which is pretty good. If you got an entry higher up in here, you got an even better trade. But on the 4-hour time frame, really what we're trying to watch here is we had this. We actually changed the trend on the 4-hour time frame back to bulls. So we had a low, high, higher low, and then higher high right here. Then we came back down, another higher low, and then another higher high. But this higher high is not closed above this zone yet. If we close two 4-hour candles above this high, I will have reasonable confidence that we will end up on the 12-hour time frame, continuing the bull trend higher, and then I would anticipate a move to 63K. That's really the main level that I'm watching for. But the main resistance level is just this one yellow zone right here that starts at about 58 7 and goes up to about 60,400. The last thing I want to talk about here, we may be forming a ascending triangle here in price. You can see that we've kind of continuously ran into this horizontal level right here, right around where this high was at about 59.5. But since that point, we have formed a higher low right here. We may be forming another, we may reject off this once more, come down and form another higher low in comparison to this one. And then if we test it again, we may push above it. If we draw that out, it's kind of like a flat resistance level and then an ascending, like an ascending series of higher lows. So you're kind of seeing it looks like it may, especially after this push above, the measured move for that on a pattern like this is what's called the if you're looking at this pattern, the way I usually measure it is, well, you could even see this as a pennant, I guess. So a pennant pattern, the way you would measure that move is with the flagpole, or whatever you call it. A pennant is like kind of like a flag that hangs on the top of a flagpole. But if we measured that, it would be from here to here, which is about 5,390. So we measure that from the top. 5,390 would take us to about 64.9. So that would be consistent with, that 64 level. We may run into that 63K level, go a little bit higher, and then, reject off that level. We might go through that level too. That's something to keep in mind. But I personally am watching this 4-hour resistance level, and the only way I'm going to be entering, the only trade that I have on right now is that 3-day trade down on this blue level. But on the 12-hour time frame, what I will end up doing is, if we change the trend, the 12-hour trend back to the bulls right here, well, not back to the bulls, but continue it because we already have been in it, with two 12-hour closes above this black candle, I'll long the black candle. If we get on the 4-hour time frame, if we get two 4-hour closes above this black candle, then I will look to long a retest of that zone, targeting the 63K level. That's all I got for this one, guys, for Bitcoin here. I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe for future cryptocurrency market updates, as well as educational content around cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. If you haven't already, check out lutheria.com. It is our website where you can find other educational content on our blog, as well as upcoming virtual events on different things related to cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. And until next time, onward and upward.